Welcome this evening. We'll get this November 12th, 2024, 532 finance meeting in order going. I will state for the record, and I'll state this also at agenda prep when the others are up here. Mr. Smith, our city attorney, did let me know in advance that he would not be here tonight. He did want me to convey to the council, if you do have any questions, please reach out to him this week on the email for that. But he did let me know that he would not be able to be here. So at this point in time, I will yield the floor to you, Chairman Westcott.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome everyone this evening. A few things on our agenda tonight. Number one is consideration of an ordinance that would approve the private club permit for Ridgewood Brothers Barbecue Club Incorporated, required for the state private club permit application to the Arkansas Alcoholic Beverage Control Division per Arkansas Code annotated 3-9-222 as amended and for other purposes. Sponsored by the Finance Department. What is the will of the Finance Committee on item number one?
I move that we move item 1 to the full council with a recommendation of due pass.
Okay. Is there any discussion on item number one? Thank you very much. Okay. Now, when that is brought up next week, is your recommendation to do the first of three, first of two, one reading? Or do you have a preference, Mr. Keller?
I think we've been doing on these first of two, and then if someone comes in and has an objection to it, then we could potentially move it to a third reading after that. But I think for these, we've been typically doing two for the special permits.
Okay.
Or the private club permits, sorry.
Any other discussion on item number one? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Similarly, with item number two is consideration of an ordinance that would approve the private club permit for Circe Social Club doing business as La Huerta of Russellville, number 2. Under the same circumstances, what's the will of the Finance Committee on item number 2?
Mr. Chairman, I move item 2 be forwarded to the full council with a recommendation of due pass.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion on number 2?
Is this for the Main Street La Huerta?
Yes, this is for the Main Street La Huerta.
Right. Are you also recommending a first of two on that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Item number 3 is an appropriation request from the combination of the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund number 8, the reserves of the Arkansas and the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission Marine Fuel Tax Grant, the sum of $104,000 to be used to purchase the courtesy dock and the parking lot repairs at the Oweta Boat Dock. I move that we forward item number 3 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on number 3 or any comments from Mr. Thomas?
Only thing I got to say real quick is, part of that too will be hopefully in-kind labor, so we may not spend.
For the sake of those who are watching on
Yes.
video especially.
Part of that, the 29,000 part of the city's money, part of that will be in-kind labor, like we could, if our guys do something, we could count that against that money. So hopefully most of that money won't be spent except the 75,000 of the Game and Fish's money. So hopefully we'll save some money there.
And
I
this
just
is-
wanted to budget it all just in case something goes awry out there that we don't know about.
Is this a recent grant approval? Something that we've got recently?
Yes.
So the grant coordinator that we hired
Yes.
has really worked out well?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, is this going to be that kayak?
No, this is not that one.
No, we're
That
still
was-
working on.
That was in 2025.
Yeah, we're still working on getting a kayak
Yes.
dock out there. Okay.
Yep,
All right.
that's over
Okay.
at the
Kayak
ski
launch.
area.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
And the projected completion date on that, Mr. Thomas?
Hopefully, as soon as we can get the dock, I'm saying, I'm going March, we hope. Be done with it by March. We have until June to get it finished, but I'm hoping we get it done before the fishing season comes in.
Right, thank you. Is there any other discussion on number 3? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Items number 4 and 4A. Number 4 is a line item transfer request in accordance with ordinance number 1783 from the drainage projects in the amount of $681,190 to the US 64 East Pedestrian Improvement Project. And number 4A is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to accept the lowest responsible bid and to sign a construction agreement and the associated paperwork with Western Millwright Commercial Construction Incorporated for the construction of that street pedestrian improvement project. What is the will of the Finance Committee on items number 4 and 4A?
I move
Mr. Chair.
that we send items 4 and 4A to the full council with recommendation for approval.
Second.
Okay. Is any discussion on 4 and 4A?
We got plenty of drainage project money after we moved that $680,000.
Yes.
Okay. I figured we did or wouldn't be moving it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 and 6. Item number 5 is an appropriation request from the City General Fund 2023 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $221,220.75 to be used to fund the winter stipend for the General Fund Department salaries and their FICA expenses. Number 6, similarly, is appropriation from the City General Fund 2023 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $27,989 to be used to fund the winter stipend for the Street Fund employees' salaries and their FICA expenses. I move that we forward item number 5 and 6 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Second by Mr. Keller. Any discussion on number 5 and 6? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. And there was great rejoicing. Number 7, appropriation request from the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund, the sum of $60,209 to be used to purchase the new command vehicle, the Dodge Tradesman 2500 truck. What is the will of the Finance Committee on number 7?
Mr. Chairman, I move item number 7 be sent to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Second. Is any discussion on number 7? Welcome, Mr. Vick, there at the back. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8 is consideration of an ordinance that would adopt the Fiscal Affairs Code by codifying existing city ordinances and resolutions governing fiscal affairs of the city. Mayor, would you mind to speak to number 8 for just a moment?
That's something that Mr. Smith has proposed, and I think he's going through different things and codifying different, he has been working really hard to clean up lots of different things that are spread out, bringing them all together so that they're much more uniform and much more favorable to find, and this is just an extension and continued progress in that effort, so.
So no changes, just?
No, just
pay-
codifying it and bringing it into, compiling it and making it smaller. So
Just
uniformity,
consolidate-
yes,
just
that's the word
consolidate.
I'm looking for, uniformity.
Just
Right.
consolidating.
Consolidate, yeah. You guys are just coming up with all kinds of good words. Cool.
I move that we forward item number 8 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
And my plan is to do a first of 3 readings, recognizing that sometimes if there's no pushback of any kind, we often approve on the second reading.
It would also be nice to have some time to review it, too,
Absolutely.
since Mr. Smith's not here.
Yes, please reach out to him this weekend if you do have any questions at all.
Okay.
or week, not weekend, sorry.
All those in favor of number 8, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9 is consideration of a reimbursement request for the third quarter expenses for the Boys and Girls Club in the amount of $30,000. It's the will of the Finance Committee on number 9.
Mr. Chairman, I move item number 9 be sent to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on number 9? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The final thing on our agenda this evening, number 10, is discussion and proposal for items needed to be purchased for the Youth Council, sponsored by Councilmember Paul Gray and the Youth Council. I'll yield the floor to Councilmember Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Youth Council is off and running, and the first event that they were at this year was Fall Fest, which helped us discover some things that the Youth Council might need to do those kinds of things and do some of the outreach and things they want to do. But instead of me presenting that to you, a couple members of our Youth Council have a presentation, and a short presentation. Mayor, they were worried about your 3-minute limit.
Okay.
And I said, I don't think we, since you're
That is
asking
not
for-
my 3-minute limit, that is the council's 3-minute limit. They're the
so-
ones that.
So
Not
anyway, if you guys would like to step to the dais of the podium and pull up your presentation.
I might add that the Youth Council was out and about at the Fall Fest passing out flyers for the annexation, which did pass with a 70% approval.
Convincingly, yeah.
Good job.
Thanks to the Youth Council.
Oh. Yeah, we take all credit
Yeah.
for that passing.
Ooh, we have a politician.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Genesis Arevalo,
And I'm Logan Greggs.
and we're here to present the Youth Council budget proposal for the 2024-25 year of operations. So the money would be used for things that we think we'll be needing in the future at any other events. So that would be T-shirts, booth rentals for any events that the city will be having downtown, a table skirt, and a banner.
So, is this thing on? Okay, cool.
It's on.
So the table skirt and the banner will both be used for improving how we look, as in making us look more professional and help us stand out so that people actually look at us and say, or come up to us with any questions or concerns they may have. The whole point of the Youth Council is to improve accessibility to as many people as possible, especially the young people of our city who don't know much about the goings-on in the city. And we're there to make it more accessible. And so these banners will help, the banner and the table skirt will make us stand out to them a little bit better.
Yeah,
And
so-
the best part about this is the fact that the table skirt and the banner should be reusable for several years, so this will not be a yearly thing.
Yeah, so the estimated price on those are about $460, and it would be a one-time purchase it would last a minimum of 5 years if they're taken care of. So for the booth rental, that's something that we would have to get in contact with Main Street Russellville for, and this would just be to set up booths at future downtown events, so art walks, Juneteenth, and this would help promote our organization and connect with the city. And this would be variable cost depending on how many events we'll be attending in an operation in a year and based on the location as well. And then the t-shirts, we have an approximated cost of $300, and that will be done by River Valley Screen Printers. The design was made by one of our own Youth Council members, Adriana Tobar, and so those will be used for identification at events, so that we can just make our presence more known, so that if people have any concerns that they want to reach out to us for, they will be easy to find for them. And then the last thing is our Youth Council webpage, something that we've worked with Councilman Gray with, and he's been able to connect us with the city IT department, And Mr. Hodge has also given us some input on what the page could look like. And our webpage committee is currently working on that, so we hope to have it running in the next week or so.
Any questions?
What sort of upcoming events are you guys preparing for now?
What was that one thing? I believe there is a, I can't remember the name of it. It had glow in the name, I believe.
Holiday Glow.
Holiday Glow.
Holiday Glow, sorry, I'm really bad with names.
That's okay.
I believe we're planning on attending that thing.
I assume that they're obviously sponsored by the city of Russellville.
Yes.
The city of Russellville doesn't have to pay for booth rentals at city-sponsored events, right? That'd just be like giving ourselves money.
Well, there's
No.
Main Street, Russellville, they reached out, but Ms. Housing hadn't gotten back with them yet. That's why I said, assuming those will be comp
Yes.
for our guys. But if there was some other event that they maybe had a chance to present at. you know,
somewhere
it
else.
might be, yeah.
Now, we do have something in the budget for 2025 for them. We do have that in the budget for 2025 as far
I'm not
as-
opposed to it
yes,
at all. I
yeah.
just think it'd be, prudent for us to make sure we're not charging
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, did we get, in the spirit of this being a city project, did we get 3 quotes on everything?
I don't think they have 3 quotes yet. We were lucky to get one back. I told them for tonight, it was just for ballpark purposes.
Yes.
That we got one quote from Blue Bear, but we will, I have talked to them a little bit about the bidding process and all that, but.
Yes,
this
that would be
won't
good
really
practice for them.
Yeah, it'll be good practice for you too.
Yes.
We'll
And-
get to that. We were just cobbling something together for tonight, so they would have, you would have at least some round numbers to look at.
Good.
And can we, when that is presented in its final, can we get it split with one-time cost and, I guess, or annual cost, future?
Yes, this would be a one-time cost for, though the table skirt and the banner should last a long time
Yeah.
if it's taken care of. I think T-shirts and name tags will kind of be the
Ongoing.
ongoing, would be, and again, this is a plane we're building while we're flying, so,
I'm just thinking for a future budget.
Yeah,
reasons.
absolutely,
So if we can get that
absolutely.
split out, that'd be great.
y'all making notes, youth council?
Also note that they did reach out locally to local businesses to get
Yes.
the
That was
to
a
get the
requirement.
banner and stuff. So that was good. So
No online.
there are
orders or
other
anything.
locals that you can reach out to get your bids, though, so you can get multiple bids. So, and thank you, Mr. Olson. So, good job, guys.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's got something too as well.
Okay.
I do have a question, real quick. When you were going through the process of coming up with the design, this is kind of in the weeds, but did you, because the T-shirt one, could you pull that one back up?
Yes.
Hi, there's me.
Ooh, nice catch, Miss Young. I know where
So-
you're going.
Yeah. So the buildings, did you get permission to use that logo?
Yes, so we are actually in the process of receiving permission right now. So this is just the first design that we have.
Excellent.
And we just wanted to show it to you guys so you have an idea of what we're working on.
Perfect. Okay.
Good job, Emily. Pointing
Just-
that out.
Just a question about talk to multiple vendors, most definitely, that's what you need to do. But wouldn't this be under the threshold that requires the 3 bids?
It would be, but I think it's just good practice for them
Oh,
to
no, it's good
understand. Yeah.
practice, I
Yeah.
just was just,
Yeah.
well, I was just making sure.
It would be under
that-
the threshold,
Yeah.
just for everyone, we do have a certain threshold that we have to go out to bid.
I was just
believe
making
it's-
sure, because that's like $25,000, and I was like, maybe I missed a slide.
No. I believe it actually is 35,000 is our required that you have to do, but it is a good practice for you guys to see kind of what we do, so, to see what we actually do in real life, so.
Did you
All
hear
right.
that, youth council? You have $35,000 now, so.
No.
Mayor, that being the last of our agenda, I yield the floor back to you.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Great job, y'all.
Good job. All right, so we're going to go ahead and thank you, gentlemen. We'll adjourn this finance meeting, then we'll go into agenda prep here in just a second. We'll be going into agenda prep here as soon as Ms. Skelton gets back. Where'd you have to go, man? Okay, not terrible. Yeah. Well, you should do that all the time with a whole lot of fun, man. Just drive. You drive, set up games for an hour, wait for a little bit, and take down for an hour and drive. And yeah. Tell you the way I stay awake when I'm driving is I will eat like sunflower seeds, one at a time. Or pistachios or something, yeah, that you can do one at a time. You have to be moving, just yeah, keep you moving. All right, where are we at? Gentlemen, council, Mr. Gray. All right, let's call the order. We'll get the agenda prep. Call the order here. Okay, here we go. So coming up next Thursday, we will be looking at. We're going to have our Picture Perfect contest next year. That's going to be awesome. Or next week. Picture Perfect. What's your Picture Perfect in Russellville? We will have some stuff on Personnel Committee from Mr. Gray. We've got some job descriptions and salary plans. And then we'll have Finance, as always, with Mr. Westcott. Unfinished old business. We do. I'm sorry. I missed that. Yep. Public Works. I'm sorry. I was hurrying up. Kenneth's like, man, what are you talking about? I don't have to do that. So. And then Megan's here. Thank you, Miss. 2 minutes or.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Duval, Miss
It's okay.
Selman. I apologize.
So the sidewalks in front of Hugh Center on the Parkway Drive side, they are complete.
Nice.
I know you like them. The drainage job we're doing out on North Arkansas or Highway 7, whatever you want to call it. We have started that drainage project. It's right next to the Shiloh Church, I believe is what it's called. And if you've seen it before, if you drive by now, it totally looks different. We had to cut all the trees down to widen the ditch. So it's in full swing. I'm not sure how long it'll be, but they're definitely working on it every day, and it's moving on along very well. That's all I got.
Okay.
Kenneth,
Thank
I got a question real
Yes.
quick. I'm gonna go to an oldie. It's gonna be a throwback.
Okay.
Is there anything that's happening with the drainage project that was gonna be from O to Phoenix that we started passing stuff on back in like 2019?
Oh, to Phoenix. No,
We're
it's
talking
not
about
ringing.
around Tech.
around
and
Tech, around the Tech
Whataburger.
curve,
Yeah. Okay.
Whataburger to.
Yeah, previously named the roundabout. Okay, yes, we are in communication or conversation with RDOT at this time. The roundabout has been removed from the project.
Okay.
The last conversation that Mr. Newman and I and Arkansas Tech were in with RDOT, the proposal was not acceptable that they had come up with, and so we've asked them to go back to the drawing board, and so their engineers are working on that. Have we seen a design yet, Mr. Newman? My knowledge, we've not seen a design from them yet.
Okay, so just real quick, just so for clarity, who is they? Since we have three
RDOT.
people? RDOT is going back.
Yeah,
to
our RDOT is, we asked them, Dr. Jones and his team and Mr. Newman and I were in a meeting with them, and they had proposed, the initial proposed project was way out of our budget, because it was so old. Then they brought a different proposal back that would basically have put a 100-foot wide ditch right along that curve, and we're like, that's not possible. and it was mind blowing when we were in that. But they are. We've asked their engineers to go back to the table and bring something else back to us. And we have not, I personally have not seen that, and I don't think you've seen the finished product yet. So, but we are in that conversation trying to work that out for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, sir, that's completely accurate, and there more likely will be an updated partnership with the updated design with RDOT taking the lead on that. So we'll be bringing that forward after we come to an agreement with ATU and RDOT on revisions and updates due to the changes that's been occurring.
But no roundabout on Arkansas
No roundabout
That is
at this point in time.
at this point in time.
We were moving them all to Main Street.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No. No roundabout on Arkansas. So, at this time. Mr. Olson?
Kenneth, I was gonna ask you, with it getting dark early now, have we made any good movement with Entergy to get our lights fixed?
Yes, actually, we have. They have a new system we're using, and we're actually even getting emails when they're done. So they are doing much better.
Literally 2 weeks ago, if I remember, or saw Tim and his team out. They were out.
Yeah.
They were out after dark, literally going around and looking for all of our lights that were out.
This new way's only been ready for like the last month, so it's a new thing. Yeah. But I can tell you, we're getting emails that they're doing them.
Good.
So they're definitely doing much better.
They're avoiding all that overtime by waiting until it gets dark early.
I can't answer that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they are working good for us.
They're doing good. So, okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Was there, we had talked at our last meeting about compiling a list of 1-cent sales tax projects. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that got sent out and I missed it, or is there?
No,
all right, cool.
I didn't send it to you. Honestly, it slipped my mind.
I just didn't want to
do that. I'll do that in the morning. I'll write it down so I won't forget.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, it's no big deal. I just didn't want to be left
Just to
out.
give you a heads up, Mr. George, I'm going to be getting with all of our department heads that are affected by 1-cent sales tax, and we're going to be going back several years and putting together a pretty composite list of just what we've done so that we can promote that, because we're going to definitely have to work hard to promote that.
Mayor, one more thing I didn't mention, the striping that we had talked about, it's in motion right now. I don't know if you've seen any of the finished product, but it's still ongoing, so should see a difference.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I do have a question as well. Do you have an update on the skate park light by any chance?
That would be Terry.
Yeah. Do we have an update there?
Should have.
I turned it in, but I'll tell you, I'll get with Terry. We'll follow up with it. Because I barely know where the skate park is.
Yeah. Well, it's not your park, so as long as Terry knows and his team, so good. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Ms. Selman,
Thank y'all.
with the Alliance and Economic Development quarterly report that Mayor Teague almost forgot.
Hey, no problem. You might have to show me. Is that 100-foot ditch going to be the Whitewater Park too?
Oh my gosh.
All
We're not helping
you
ourselves.
might have to show me how to get this up on the TV, James. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
And then 2.5 minutes is going to be me trying to put this up here. And
There
then
we
a
go.
30-second report. All right, I've combined Q3 and Q4 to do some efficient reporting here. So a major development this last quarter was the Tabor announcement of the Tabor expansion in Russellville. There's the governor with Secretary McDonald, Clint O'Neill, and Chuck Stout from the Russellville Tabor plant. They flew to Paris to the Farnborough Air Show and announced Tabor's expansion in Russellville. And that was an economic development project that the Alliance worked. It's a $70 million investment in Russellville with 70 new jobs. So that was a great development this quarter. And Chuck had some great things to say about Russellville from Paris. So let's see if I can pull this up. So this went out globally in a.
So what I would tell people is, I've been in Arkansas for a few years now, and when I tell them I live in Russellville, Arkansas, everybody says, "Why would I want to go to Russellville?" And I said, "You don't until you get there, and once you see it, you don't ever want to leave." So the great things about where we're located, especially for this particular project, is we are literally less than 5 minutes from I-40. So when you look at transportation requirements, we got that. We've got the infrastructure from a utility standpoint to support the business. But the most important thing when we looked at location was people. Do we have access to the people we need to run the business? And then the other part is we want to be in a community that wants us there. Russellville, Polk County, and the state of Arkansas are all very pro-business. They want our business there, they want us there, and they want the individuals that work for us there.
So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that worked on that project. That was definitely a teamwork, team effort, and we're glad that our businesses know we want them here. By the way, I love an expansion because that speaks to how we're treating our existing industries. And then the governor had weighed in on that too. We have some new retail projects that the Chamber and Alliance have worked on for the past several months to a year that we are seeing come to fruition. And you'll see that signs up as you drive by those projects, and that's underway as well. Owens Corning picked Russellville for their quarterly corporate meeting. So their whole team flew in. We hosted them for about a week here and in our community. Lots of meetings, lots of highlighting all the great things we have to offer. They're so happy that they've picked Russellville. You'll see that building's gone up fast. We've hosted 4 more site visits in the last in Q3 and Q4. And we've got about 4 ongoing industries looking at Russellville right now as we compete for more projects. We are bringing people together. We've had 43 ribbon cuttings, a groundbreaking, and 8 anniversaries celebrations at the Chamber and Alliance over the past 2 quarters. So bringing the business community together, we have 191% growth in membership this year. So thank you for keeping us funded and in your contract. We're working really hard for the local economy, small business, as well as the big industry, just to bring people together and give them access to resources to be successful. We've helped with Co-Create Innovation Hub, which is now open and up and running, and Councilman Young has an office in there as well, so she may be able to speak to that project, which is an amenity, I think, to our community. Business Expo this year, 1,500 guests through those doors with about 90 business booths. It was a great event we were able to host. We've kicked off Russellville Regional Leadership Academy Class 39. So we've been at that a while. It's a great service that we're able to provide to the community because of your guys' support. Paint the Town Green and Gold, same thing. 36 businesses participated. There's our Millard Henry overall winner. And I just want to say all of these things are just really big picture here is that we continue to bring the community together, especially, it's an election year and there's strong feelings on both sides of lots of issues and campaigns. So really at the Chamber, we focused extra hard this year on bringing the community together around positive causes. We had our 9/11 cookout. We served 372 meals to first responders on 9/11 at Depot Park. And the picture there with the tents in the background, those were just our volunteers. So it was great to see our community come out and support those city services, our first responders. We really appreciate them. We are hosting Russellville, Arkansas has been picked as a location for by the National Civics Bee this year. So we are going to host, in conjunction with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, a competition that's modeled it's like a spelling bee or geography bee, but it will give students, I believe, 6th, 7th, 8th grade students the chance to share ideas for improving communities and show enthusiasm for their civic engagement. So look for that in 2025. You'll have one in Rogers, Magnolia, Russellville, and then a state championship at the Clinton Presidential Library. But we're excited to be able to bring that to Russellville. Mr. Gray, we may be reaching out to you for your input as well, or some of you guys on our youth council. One of our first Friday breakfasts that was of particular interest was Arkansas Nuclear Voices. Russellville, is one of the sites currently being evaluated for consent-based nuclear waste storage. So we are not taking any stance on that at the chamber, but helping educate the community so that the consent process is an informed process for everyone. We are increasing Russellville's representation from Washington, D.C. to here just locally, and helping us to get a seat at the table for some very important conversations. And so we just wanted to mention that as well. We now have a seat on the AEDCE Board of Directors. We've got several board positions, committee positions that we are doing our best to represent you guys well. And workforce development. We're continued to bring together industry with our education partners at ATU, at UACCM, at Russellville School District and the surrounding schools, with a focus on Inspire River Valley program. We're doing several student tours in Q3 and Q4 of large manufacturing facilities. We have formed a manufacturing leadership council. And so we've got our lead plant managers and CEOs coming together once a month to talk about what they need from us and what they need from educational pipelines. We are currently running with our employment accessibility project. You'll see those kiosks go up, at a few places around town. And we have submitted to be a work-ready community with the state of Arkansas, which is a special certification. We are working with ATU Ozark and UACCM on the Hired Grant, which is some funding that you'll see them roll out, and we are just partnering to support them on those endeavors. And Susie Griffin, our workforce director, was a presenter at this year's AEDC Workforce Best Practices. So we're doing our best to represent you guys well and across the state, as well as pour into our community. And are there any questions or anything you guys want to know more about?
I would recommend on the civics thing that you got a lot of potential workers here that could work that with the youth council. And then I did want to ask about 191% growth. That's a lot. So I was just wondering if you did we have a bunch of people backslide and then became members again? We got that many new members? That was a curious number.
I don't know where it went, but yes, that is our year-to-date new membership growth. Some of it I will attribute to we have some new software where we're appropriately tracking. It's easier to sign up, it's easier to invoice and kind of keep track of that data, but that's pretty representative of new chamber members, new businesses. We have a lot of new businesses in general, and don't want to toot our own horn there, but just that our business, I think it's a reflection that our business community is coming together, collaborating. They want to get together. People want to, the fabric of our community. People want to reach out to each other, offer each other resources. So we're hoping to facilitate some new pipeline groups over the course of the next year, where we're giving people the opportunity to network and kind of go deeper in those business relationships.
I think it's okay to toot your own horn. I mean, obviously there are logistical reasons for why people are choosing our community, but not many of those things have changed over we're on close to I-40. We have, all of those things. But, our strong local leadership from Chamber and the Alliance, and I think the city, a lot of those things have come together to work to saying, hey, this is a great place.
Yes.
To work and live and come here.
Put your business here. Pay your taxes here. Yeah. All those things. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. All right, back to where I was. No, just kidding. Thank you. That's right. Okay, no problem. Okay. Unfinished old business. Item 1 will be consideration of an ordinance amending the city code of offenses involving public safety, health, and welfare. This will be the third and final reading on this. This is from Mr. Smith. Item 2 will be consideration of ordinance adopting city business permit and resolutions code for other purposes. This is the second of 3 readings, sponsored by city attorney, requesting that this item be read for the last time, as the RFP, Parks and Rec, and Planning Commission are wanting this to be in effect for the Christmas parade. So that was going to be the second of 3 readings, but they have asked if you would make a motion when the time comes to read that second and final time. And then item 3 is consideration of an ordinance providing for levying of a replacement 1% sales and use tax when the city of Russellville. Lost myself there for a minute. This is for the proposed percentages, and for 7 years. We have had a meeting based on that. Do we have that in our discussion at the end of tonight? You guys want to discuss that right now? Because we're going to have to move forward with what we have in place right now, or we're going to have instruct Mr. Smith and Miss Skelton to amend it as proposed and change the percentages and also the time frame if you guys want to do that. So we'll have. Anybody want to discuss that right now, or do we want to just move forward with the second of 3 readings?
I am okay with moving forward. I know we did have discussion at our last meeting, but I don't feel like there's...
Well, the premise of our discussion was there might be a significant economic development going on in this community. It's not going to be, at least for the foreseeable future. And so that was one of the things we were laying down the foundation for, but that's all changed now. So if it's going to be reconsidered, now is the time, those percentages.
Yeah, they have to be considered tonight, or we won't make the cut for the May 13th election. So, all right. So, Mr. Keller.
I was just going to say, as of now, I am okay with the percentages. I'm still mulling over the idea of 7 years and locking us into those percentages for 7 years, not knowing what, we're necessarily going to be. But I mean, even if it was 5 years or 4 years or 10 years, we still wouldn't know. But as of right now, I'm fine with it.
So we'll move forward into next week's council meeting with it as presented. If anyone has any issues between now and then, please reach out to myself, Ms. Skelton, or Mr. Smith. Does anyone else have anything? All right. Okay. So item 4 will be a consideration of an ordinance calling for a special election of the city of Russellville. And this is for the levying the replacement of 1% sales tax. That'll be the second of 3 readings. Item 5 is a consideration of an ordinance authorizing the extension of water outside the city limits of city of Russellville. This is on 2420 Bradley Cove Road. This is recommended by the Planning Commission. This is a second of 3 readings also.
Have we had anybody speak up or say
We've not had any resistance on that at all. The gentleman
Any
is.
resistance, but also is there any speed? Do they need to get this started?
No
I have not.
urgency.
I've not. I don't have any indication that there's a sense of urgency.
Okay.
I've not been asked anything. I am going to back up on that item 4 just to kind of bring you guys up to speed real quick. I did mention a while ago that the annexation did pass. The annexation will go into effect 30 days after the county clerk certifies that election. as of my conversation with the county clerk today, it was my last conversation, they do not know the date that they're going to certify that election. So we are working with them so that we will know, because it's very important to us, because once that takes effect, we have to respond with our ambulances. We have to respond with RPD and RFD. So we are working with them to know, and we'll just to kind of give you, if any of your constituents ask, that goes into effect 30 days after it is certified. And as of this time, we do not know. So that made me think of that. So, okay, so that's okay. New business will be consideration of ordinance, considering an ordinance and an amendment to zone text to adopt proposed changes to the Russellville zoning code. This is submitted by Ms. John Dahl, and Ms. John Dahl is actually, she is in Florida at a conference, National League of Cities, if I remember, and then this is just some zoning code changes, consideration of an ordinance accepting annexation election lands and assigned annex lands submitted by Trey Smith, the city attorney. And then that will go into effect the 30 days after that. Item 3 is consideration of an ordinance codifying ordinances number 256, 278, 377, 391, 393, 412, 550, 2407. Lots of those. That's traffic and parking code. Once again, Mr. Smith's just codifying and consolidating. Item 4 is consideration of ordinance codifying ordinances number 2404, which currently assigns city wards into the city administration code. This is that's put the annexation into a ward. So,
Mayor,
okay.
how many readings do you need on that?
I would think.
Annexation ordinance, number 2.
Yeah, I would say 2. Yes, I would think so.
What's the,
Mr. Smith may guide us on that. I can reach out to him and just double check.
what's the population of that ward? How, or of that 400 and
Under 100. There were only like 30 houses, and so it's under 100.
It wouldn't really change the rest of the map either.
No.
Okay, yeah.
No, it would not. So, okay, so
So we're going to be good on the first of 3 on 1, 3, and 4, and 1 of 2 on number 2. Is that right?
yeah, I think so. As of right now, I'm gonna 1 of 2. I'm just gonna. I'll reach out to Mr. Smith and ask him if there's any issues there. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that's my question is he going to need that? And he may be in communication with the county clerk too. You are? Okay, so we'll have to figure out what that looks like with Mr. Smith. If he needs that he may need a 1 of 1 because it may need to go into effect prior to the 30 days and the certification, but we will have that answer for you.
I think he has to actually attach the certification to that ordinance.
Okay.
So until she gives it to us, so I don't know.
Okay.
It
Okay.
might be 3. There.
Yes, that would be something you definitely could. So, okay, cool.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. We can't accept it until the
It's
vote has
certified.
been certified.
Certified,
Sure,
We
sure,
don't
sure,
know
sure,
when
sure.
And
that's
as of now, they have not given us a definite time. So, okay, so just a couple discussion items. We will be swearing in 2 new council members. Oh, we got to discuss that.
Well, that's up to you. I mean, you can swear them in if you want, or we can go over to the county clerk's office in the courtroom, and Judge Coker, I think is who's doing it, will swear in everyone at that
Yeah.
time, which makes it easier since we only have 2 people.
Yeah.
I was just making sure you're okay with that.
Yeah. However, it's fine with either way is fine
And
with
nobody
me.
else has to go. I have to go, and you probably need to show up but on New
Okay.
Year's Day.
Okay. Organizational meeting. We all do need to know about this. Organizational meeting will be January 4th.
So
Or Friday, January 5th, Thursday, January 4th, or Friday, January 5th. What would you guys like to have?
hold on a second. Trey suggested either day because in our rules, you have to have it within, I think, 6 days after they're elected. And we were just trying to make it easier, and we can do it whichever day.
Would a Thursday or Friday be better for you guys? Thursday?
Time.
Thursday, can we do a 5:30 on Thursday, January 4th? Would that work?
January 4th is Saturday.
Oh, what?
Do I have the wrong date? Sorry.
Okay, well, I'm just
He
reading
sent
it.
those to me.
2nd and 3rd, maybe?
Hold on, let me look, because he sent those to me.
Okay. Thank you for looking at your calendars.
Hold on.
I was just reading, so, hey.
I
Oh,
should-
so that'd be January 2nd.
I was just going with
Weekend
it.
Warriors.
Yes, so that would be
So Monday or Tuesday, we could do it, if you guys want to do it the 6th or the 7th.
Okay.
The only problem is the 7th, the 7th is the agenda prep, and we already need it in place. That's why he was probably thinking that Thursday on the 2nd.
Okay, so we do, can we do Thursday, the 2nd at 5:30?
Okay.
There will be a Board of Adjustments meeting at that time, but we can have our meeting downstairs. So we're going to have that on January 4th at 5:30, or
Second.
2nd, I'm sorry. I still can't, I'm still reading what's in front of me, sorry.
Sorry.
Miss Skelton will get us lined out on that.
One of these days.
Okay, January council meeting is during the winter conference at,
I provided y'all with a calendar of the proposed kind of changes and different dates we need. You need to look at that and make sure it's okay.
golly. Mayor's out of
But
town.
our
to get you.
actual meeting actually falls on, I think it was January 14th, so we're moving it to the 23rd, so we're not in the middle of the winter conference is what it is.
All right. Mayor will not be here at that time, so
Where you gonna be?
I will be in Florida, so someone will have to
Okay.
stand in for me, so.
All right.
So is everyone good with moving the January council meeting to January 23rd due to the fact that the Arkansas Municipal League Conference is the week of our normal council meeting? This is something we do every year, it seems like.
Yeah, and
I'll be at the Municipal League,
the
Mr.
new
Keller will be there.
elected- The new elected officials have to go. There's like a class. But, I mean, I just wanted to give it to you beforehand so you could look at it. If you have any questions before we actually go into the organizational meeting, if we need to change anything else on it, just to kind of show you the yellow highlighted areas. That is, instead of the second Tuesday, that will be the first Tuesday of each month. There's a couple of those just because the way the meetings fall that we had to move them, just so to give you a heads up. Is that me?
Okay. Okay, so moving forward, then we have, Mr. Gray, is this your discussion of 2-month non-payment of solid waste on citizens' bills and how to help those who need it?
Yes, I received a call from a constituent. She told me she makes $900 a month on Social Security. That's her only income, and she was very worried about making that payment because an extra 60, 70, whatever it was going to be, was problematic. I spoke with Mr. Mallett. They do have an existing policy, and it's on their website. I went on their website today to double-check everything. If you need help paying the bill, I just want to make sure that we're very aware and cognizant of people who got that surprise bill that may not seem like much to some folks, but that's a lot. You know, if somebody on a fixed income, a surprise of $60 or $70 or $80 or whatever it would be. I just want to make sure the city is doing what we can to accommodate for those folks. So I don't know if anybody else heard anything. I know Mr. Keller and I got a call from someone in our ward. So whatever we have to do as a city, I just want to put it out there. So whoever's getting the phone calls, I'm assuming that's mostly Citicorp, that if somebody needs an extra month or two to pay that out, I'd like for us to be able to work with them.
Okay, we'll have to just reach out to them and kind of see what kind of volume of calls that they have and see how to respond to that. We'll kind of,
They had made a statement that they were going to work with people.
yes,
Like they sent out letters and emails and text messages, basically saying if you need help,
yeah,
contact us.
so. If you get calls from your constituents, that just make sure that that's happening. So just keep us updated from your people if you get any calls. So, anyone else?
I got a
Anything?
couple of additional items.
Okay.
Now that the election turned out the way it is, do we need to do something with the C5 zoning? The
C5,
zoning,
and that is
the casino zoning district that
Okay.
we did. I mean, it needs to go back to something besides C5, unless we're planning on getting another casino.
where did we zone C5? That was prior to my time, was it not?
That was established
we-
back when the casino, you know,
Was
a-
that in that area there
In that
north of
area.
I-40?
Yeah,
Okay.
the area around Hobnob,
Yeah.
yeah, we zoned a portion of it as C5
Okay, well, you still have a
I'm not-
potential of a casino going there.
Yeah, there's
Understand.
litigation.
And that's the
Yeah,
thing
I
is
know.
that there's litigation going
I'm just-
on, and the people that currently own that land that's Zone Z5 are, in fact, casino owners.
Yeah.
So I would be hesitant to change that zoning until everything is put to bed finally.
I would prefer, like, if they sell the property or use it for something other than a casino, they would then have to request
Yeah.
Well, and that's the,
for different zoning.
that's the deal. C5 is the most wide open zoning that we have, so anything could go in there without any say from this body.
I don't,
Well, they still have to
I think, I
apply for
don't
permits.
necessarily understand C5 as that. I thought C5 was zoned specifically for,
It's C2 plus casino.
so it's already a C2 plus a
Which is the
casino.
Wild Wild West. C2 is Wild Wild West
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Exactly right.
Okay.
So we have,
So you basically, you zoned that C2, but you added, you could take a casino. So it's not restricted very much at all, is what you're saying?
at all, that's correct.
Okay, all right. So,
Just, nothing to do tonight, just we need to think about
need to
it.
be thinking about that,
And
okay.
What to do with that. And then the other thing I was gonna bring up is, I've had, over the past 6 or 8 months, different issues with on-street parking in our town. There's a couple places around my neighborhood that I can think of where people are parking in the street at the base of hills or at the top of hills or over the other side or whatever the deal is. And it just, all the times that, and I mean, every day I go a different route, but there's a route that goes to my house that there's a car that parks that's within so many feet of the corner of the intersection, and it's caused some problems. And then, anyways, I just would like to see what are options for some kind of code around on-street parking. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what it looks like, what to do with that, but it seems to be a bit of a safety issue that I've noticed, so.
Are you talking about just in general? Like, I know we do have an ordinance, or we should have an ordinance about parking within corners, because I'm seeing that in a couple of particular areas in town where people are parking right at the corner, which is a major problem with line of sight and everything else. I'm sure we have that ordinance. Are you talking about that, or are you just talking about hully-gully everywhere?
It's literally everywhere. I mean,
Okay.
it
On-street
is-
parking
it
in
is.
residential neighborhoods.
You'll go through a neighborhood and you have to dodge and duck and dive just to get through a lot of times, and it presents a safety issue, but like somebody trying to back out of their driveway and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the answer is. I haven't looked into it, but I bet we have somebody in our city that.
We
could
should
look
probably
into that.
visit with Mr. Newman, Miss John Dahl and her team and see. Okay.
And while they're looking at that, could they also look at I've received quite a number of reports about the trash bins left at the curb all week long. So whatever we can do about that, I know there's.
What do you mean? Is it? No, there's not. It's a recommendation that you do not leave them there. I think it's a recommendation. I mean, I'm assuming that the council, if you so chose, could enact something that you would bring your cans back. But like I say, that would.
I'd rather not make people have to move their trash cans from the curb to the.
Wait, what?
That just seems like.
Wait, what?
People talk all the time about letting people make decisions about their own property, like.
I'm not saying there ought to be a law and whatever, but we've done so much over the last few years and months to beautify and make Russellville a place where you really want to be and stay, live here, join us, but be clean about it, right? Because we're clean, so let's stay clean, right? So you're wanting to move the cars off the street so that the people, right? So move the bins off the street too. That's all I'm saying.
I do
Right.
personally, but
Pick up your trash initiative right
Mr.
here.
Westcott, you would make one of my constituents the happiest man in the world if we had some sort of regulation. He is on me about that all the time.
He may have been
But
one that
I
called
was
me.
also passing an ordinance, seems
I'm not
that's
recommending
problematic too, yeah.
that level of involvement.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Surely we can educate, we can talk about it, we can promote the benefits of moving your trash bins off the.
I like that. We'll see we can see what kind of benefits we can promote. So,
That's a job for the youth council.
Yeah.
Y'all get that solved. But don't have them come to us. They come
yes.
to you.
Yes. No. All right. Anyone else have anything? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will adjourn. See you next Thursday.
I like that, Eric. We can promote the benefits. I like the way you put that.